Now to our eye on your money. We are talking student loans tonight because we checked in with TransUnion and they say nearly 27 million people have federal student loans. Add it all up and that education comes out to about $1.1 trillion. Even with all of that on their backs, you know, this has been a stressful thing for people. There's a little help that might be coming.
And today, President Biden announced that he is canceling $9 billion in student loan debt for 125,000 Americans. The White House describes this as, quote, fixes to a broken student loan system, the way they describe it. More than $5 billion of this money will go to 53,000 borrowers who have worked in public service for 10 years or longer. $2.8 billion, that'll be supporting 51,000 Americans who have been in repayment for at least 20 years.
And then another $1.2 billion, that's going to go to 22,000 borrowers with disabilities. That announcement comes just a few days after student loan payments kicked back up. That was on October 1st, after they were on pause for 3 years during the pandemic. The issue is you may be a borrower that doesn't qualify here for loan forgiveness, and you might be worried about now how you're going to make ends meet in your monthly payment.
Yeah, and you should know that there are options available to you. Our Keith Russell, in fact, tonight breaking down a couple of them in a new segment that we're calling Dollars and Cents.
I'm Keith Russell from CBS News Texas. Former sports guy, now news guy. All the while, I'm a savings guy. I love to save money. And now my job is to help you do the same thing. So, let's start talking about student loan repayments. That's a subject a lot of people are talking about right now. For the first time in more than 3 years, federal student loan borrowers have to make payments again. That interest started building last month, and payments start up again this month. Now, this is going to change the way millions of you as borrowers live your daily lives. More than half say they'll be forced to choose between making their loan payments or buying things like groceries, paying rent. And that's according to a Credit Karma survey. So think about that. If you're concerned about how you're going to make payments on this debt, there are a couple of things you need to know during this month. The first is this. The Biden administration has created something known as an on-ramp for repayments. Basically, this is a one-year grace period. Here's what typically happens when you skip your monthly payments. Your credit, it takes a hit. You need good credit, but it takes a hit. Your loans, they get sent to collection agencies, and they're listed as being in default. If you skip payments from now through September 30th of next year, that will not happen. But interest will continue to accrue on your loan, so you'll end up owing more down the line. Let's see how this works in practice. All right, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say Robert owes $33,000 on his federal student loans right now, and his interest rate is set at 6.36%. If you want, break out your calculator. Let's do this together. So, if Robert decides to skip out on payments during this on-ramp period, he'll end up owing a little more than $2,000 in interest after a single year. Now, there's also a new income-based repayment plan called the SAVE plan. Under this plan, your monthly payment amount is calculated based on discretionary income and family size. That means the money you actually can afford to let loose. This program could cut payments in half or even to $0 for some of you who owe on these student loans. Now, back to our example. If Robert qualifies for $0 payments under this SAVE plan, he's better off enrolling in it than just not paying during the on-ramp period. The immediate impact is the same, but under the SAVE plan, interest will not continue to accrue. Now, there are other income-based repayment plans available, but the best way to know your best option is talk to your loan service provider. All right, so I hope we answered some of your questions. I hope we covered some of your concerns. Each and every week, we're going to talk about a different topic because there's a lot of topics that need to be discussed, especially in this financial climate. I hope I can provide you some answers. I hope I can provide you some insight and solutions, because keep in mind, if it doesn't save dollars, it doesn't make sense. I'm